Hey, it's Jeroen from SalesFlare, and today I want to talk to you about the process behind your pipeline, what it means, and how you can shape it to fit the way you actually sell. At its core, the pipeline is about organization. It lets you build a real, repeatable process into your sales, supported by SalesFlare. So let's look at what that process means and how you can adjust it to match your own. First, it's important to understand clearly what the different stages of your sales process actually are, how a cold lead becomes a closed deal in your specific sales process. You define these steps as the stages in your pipeline. SalesFlare gives you a standard pipeline out of the box, running from lead to won or lost. But if your sales process looks different, you can adapt it freely. You can add or remove stages or create entirely separate pipelines. You'll find this under Settings and then Configure Pipelines. Just press the blue button at the bottom right to add a new stage or a whole new pipeline. I'll go deeper into how to configure a pipeline in another video. A good exercise is to grab a piece of paper and write down how your sales process actually works in real life. Map how you see it playing out. Make sure the way you set it up in SalesFlare matches that reality, so that when you look at your pipeline, it generally reflects how you sell. You should move a deal to the next stage in SalesFlare exactly as you'd move that lead forward in real life. The simpler and more actionable a stage or step is, the better. Because if it's clear to you and your team what a stage practically means, you'll be more effective at guiding prospects to the next stage as well. It's worth always keeping in mind that your goal with any customer is either to move them to the next stage or to disqualify them and move them to the lost stage. That brings us to an extremely important concept, qualification. The idea is simple. You need to spend your time where it makes most sense. This might sound obvious, but without a clear, defined process, salespeople end up talking to anyone and everyone without a real plan, and too often nothing comes of it. That usually happens for one of two reasons. Either you don't have a clear way to guide someone toward buying, or you're juggling so many leads that you keep jumping to the next one instead of following through with the people you're already talking to. That's why it's important to figure out as early as possible whether you'll actually be able to sell to a given lead. And the goal is to decide whether it's worth investing more time in them or whether you should disqualify them and focus your energy in the leads you're actually going to close. The most common framework for this is the BANT criteria. I'll leave a link to our how-to article on this in the description if you'd like to dig deeper. But the underlying idea is always the same. Focus on the right customers. Know which leads are worth your time and disqualify the rest at the right moments. In the end, this is how you close the maximum number of deals with the time you have available as a salesperson. You find a process that works and one you can repeat with every customer that comes through your pipeline. That's everything I wanted to cover today. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to us on the chat. Thanks for watching.